My grandfather once told me something strange. He said, "Never save money." People laughed when they heard that. But this is why I now understand his words. In a quiet farming village, there lived an old man whom everyone called useless. He never worked. Every day he sat beneath a wide tree on a broken chair, staring into the distance. He talked endlessly about plans that never moved forward. "One day I'll open a store," he would say. "One day I'll buy land and animals." He believed money would come without effort. That day never arrived. At first, villagers mocked him. Later, they only pitied him. His wife would sigh and say, "Dreams don't feed a family. Work does." He would shrug and reply, "Soon, I'll find a way." Years passed. Life grew harsher. One night, his young grandson, thin and barefoot, whispered, "Grandpa, is there food?" The grandmother opened the cupboard. It was empty. The old man lowered his head, shame tightening his chest. Dreams couldn't be eaten. Ideas couldn't fill a stomach. That night, he didn't sleep. The next morning, carrying guilt heavier than his body, he went to the fields to work for daily pay. The labour was brutal. The sun burned him. His back bent lower each day. His hands cracked and ached. Sweat blinded his eyes. While standing in the fields, he whispered, "This feels like chains." At night, he returned home exhausted and quiet. Dinner was always the same: beans and 2 tortillas. Nothing more. The boy asked, "What did they pay you today, Grandpa?" The old man replied softly, "It's small, but it's something." But the money never stayed. Illness took it. Food took it. Loss took it. Only a few coins remained. Week after week, the pay came and disappeared. The roof still leaked. Hunger stayed. One afternoon at the village shop, he overheard men talking. "The secret is saving," one said. "If you save, you're safe." Those words stayed with him. That night, he found a large glass jar and hid it under the bed. Every week, after buying only the bare minimum, he dropped coins inside. The sound made him smile. It felt like hope. One day, the boy discovered the jar. "What's this?" "Our future," the old man said proudly. But saving was painful. No new shoes. Less food. Smaller meals. Empty plates. One day, the grandmother spoke in anger. "What's the point of saving if we're starving?" He didn't look up. "One day you'll understand," he replied. Months passed. The jar filled. To him, it looked like safety. One morning at the market, he poured the coins onto the counter. "I want 3 sacks of corn." The seller shook his head. "Prices went up. This buys 1.5." The old man froze. Money loses value. the seller said simply. That night, he counted the coins again and again. They never increased. The boy asked quietly, "So what's the use of saving, Grandpa?" The old man had no answer. Days darkened. He grew weaker. Hunger returned. One morning, sitting outside, he watched neighbours pass by. One carried eggs, another carried bottles of milk. They walked calmly, without fear. Then he remembered something the boy once said. "What if we raise chickens?" This time he listened. He used the last of the money to buy a few thin chickens. When they were released, the boy laughed and chased them. "Now we have an egg factory!" At first, they collected only a few eggs a day. Some they ate, some they sold. With the money, they bought another chicken. The old man wrote everything in a small notebook. Every egg mattered. Soon the yard was alive with noise. Neighbours came to buy eggs. For the first time, work felt rewarding. One afternoon, holding an egg, the old man said, "This is worth more than money in a jar. It feeds us. It grows. It doesn't disappear." The boy hugged him. "So you're not lazy anymore?" The old man smiled with wet eyes. "No, my child. I finally learned." The jar stayed forgotten beneath the bed. When people spoke about saving money, the old man pointed to the chickens and said, "Saving money is like holding water in your hands. It always slips away. Make it work, even if you start small." That is how the man once called lazy learned the greatest lesson of his life. Never save money. Make it grow.
If this story inspired you, like the video and subscribe for more meaningful stories.